Hi there, this is Ronnie coming at you with a video. I was at my club in Motherwell I go to, play board games and dice and card games and so on. Don't really do any role-playing games there, which is why this is going into my board game section. And I was playing today a game that I got from a friend of mine, Caroline, very good friend of mine. And she had got me this game back in 2017 for my birthday. And it's a game called Solaris. And I had been very eager to get the game on table. But I had held off and held off and held off. And the reason was I had seen a review by a respected YouTube review site, and it was about the only review that was on there, and the review was absolutely damning of it, calling the game boring. And knowing that the club that I go to has some pretty heavy duty gamers, I began to panic and worried that they wouldn't like the game, and because of that I wouldn't get it on table that often. And so I got nervous about bringing it in. And then I started to really doubt myself, because I'm like, well, maybe it's not a good game. And then I'm thinking, but my friend bought me it, and she brought me it on good faith because I'd put it in my wish list on Amazon. And you know, it wasn't exactly a cheap game. Wasn't particularly expensive, but it wasn't cheap. And you know, she's put that time and money into getting me that game, and I felt like I was letting her down because I wasn't playing it. So I finally decided to bite the bullet, and I was going to play it, and I played it today. And I loved the game. Is it the most amazing, fantastic, brilliant, super wonderful game? No, it's a very interesting little puzzle. It's a nice game, plays in about 45 minutes to an hour. And myself and Wolf and yes, that is his name, Wolf, and David had a wonderful time playing it, and we enjoyed it, and I will definitely be playing it again. And I'm kind of annoyed with myself for having waited so long. To play the game, particularly as the person who did the review is not someone who I agree with regards to another game. I'm not going to mention the person's name. I don't see the point. But there are a couple of very well known, or at least well known to me, board game review channels on YouTube. There's a fair few actually, but the two that I know of particularly do very good, do reviews. And I guess, I mean, I've been kind of coming to this revelation for a while. And it's not, revelation's the wrong word. Accepting the obvious. Because it really comes down to duh in terms of idea. And the idea is simply this. These reviewers can certainly tell you about a game. They can show you how it plays. And they can give their opinion on it. But that's it. It can be an educated opinion. But it's just one opinion. And more importantly, it's their opinion based on their experience and their taste. One channel, I will mention one of the channels. I might mention the other one. One of the channels is Shut Up and Sit Down. Now, there are games that they have not liked that I do. But at least in their reviews, when they say they don't like it, they use the caveat, but you might. I mean, one of the more recent reviews they did was they did a quick re-review of the Game of Thrones board game and then the recent Mother of Dragons expansion. And ultimately they didn't like the main board game because of certain complexities in the game. They would love to see that game sort of come out in a third edition that was streamlined. But what they said was interesting. They said, your mileage may vary. You might like that complexity, which in my case, yes, I do. But it was very telling when they did the Mother of Dragons expansion review. Essentially, it boiled down to it gives you more of what's already there. More complexity, more choices, more of everything. So they said, if you're someone who likes the Game of Thrones board game, you have to get the Mother of Dragons expansion because it gives you more of everything you like. And my girlfriend Fiona very kindly got me it for Christmas, which is great. But if you don't like the board game, Mother of Dragons isn't going to sell you. And I've sort of come to the realization that the only bit that interests me now, and really should only interest anyone, isn't their opinion at the end. It's their sort of when they're showing you how the game's played. If it looks good and looks interesting, it doesn't matter whether they like it or not. If you're watching it and it just looks dull, doesn't interest you at all, whether they like it or not is irrelevant. I think a lot of my sort of reservation was based on my own, I guess, my own lack of confidence in myself and my own ability to discern what I like in a game. So I would say if you are someone who watches, and as I say, Shut Up, Sit Down aren't the only ones. They're very good, and I am subscribed to them. The other big one that I know of is the Dice Tower, which I'm not subscribed to. I used to be, but I was just finding it very, yeah. I think the final straw for me, when I kind of went, what, really, seriously, was one of their top 10 lists, where they were talking about the top 10 games they hated, and Tom Vasel, sorry, it was him that did the review for Solaris, and I don't agree with him on Solaris. He called the game boring. Sorry, Tom, don't agree. It's your opinion, you're entitled to it. Don't agree. I found it very enjoyable, as did the people playing. There's a lovely little card game that I get introduced to. Funnily enough, friend Caroline again and her then girlfriend Yvonne, called Phase 10. Lovely little rummy variant game. I love playing Phase 10. It's a great weekend. Tom Vasel put it as his number one. And I really should have taken that note to say, you know what? Who cares whether he likes it or not? I like it. Why am I listening to this guy's opinion? Why am I allowing it to impact on me so much that I don't put a game out on table? So I'm kind of angry at myself. Not angry at Tom, can't be bothered. You know, he's entitled to his opinion, and that's the point. It's his opinion. What I should have done right from the start was not listen to it. I should have looked at the game, looked at his description, and what you do in the game. And stuck by my guns, because when I played it today, I realised, yeah, this is why I wanted the game. This is why I wanted this game. I like this game. This is what I wanted. And I enjoyed playing it. So not exactly a revelation so much as you know, the brain sort of finally catching up, and maybe, just maybe, me giving myself a bit of a break and allowing myself to like something. And just because someone with an opinion who's got a channel likes something doesn't mean I have to. Just because they don't like something doesn't mean I have to follow their lead. I do that a lot. I start to second guess myself, and I start to sort of panic. That's more to do with my mental health issues than anything else. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. We also played another game called Bastille by the same company. It's Queen Games, and we had a ball playing that as well. That's a good game. They're both good games. Well worth checking out. So yeah, from here on in, I'm not really going to be bothered with the final thoughts on a game, the final conclusions of anyone. I'm going to look at look at what they say, look at how the game plays, and if it looks good to me, it will go on a maybe list. If it looks really good to me, it's going to go on a yes list. And if it doesn't work, just doesn't do it for me, it's going to go on a no list. And I don't care. I need to stop caring and worrying about what other people think or might think or will think about a game. I have to buy them for me and trust in myself, trust in my own judgment that I know what I like in a game and what I think will work on table. I'm getting better at it. At the start I used to buy everything. Get what if it even looked remotely interesting, I would buy it, and obviously I've whittled things down a lot. I've gotten rid of a lot of games and started buying based on what I like, whether or not people have heard of it, whether or not people think it's remotely interesting. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there, guys. I know the majority of this video can be put under the heading of course, Ronnie, what you fucking talking about, but I needed to know it in myself. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to watch. I'm not going to bother with the final thoughts of anyone. I'm just going to look at the game. If I like it, yes. If I don't, no. And I don't care what they think. In total, they're entitled to their opinion. But I guess at the end of the day, what I need to be accepting in myself is they're not me.